You got color in your cheeks.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Agency Hour podcast, and we're back. It's been a hiatus. It's been a while. It's been quite a minute. We had the holidays. Some of us have been out on maternity leave. Some of us have been out on paternity leave. Whatever letter you put in front of that word. So many things have changed within the Pixel and Hammer team, and today we are so excited to introduce to you our newest team member. Kaisa Dum is here, and
Hello.
This is her first podcast with us, and we're going to introduce her. We're going to ask each other some questions, some never have I evers, and hopefully touch on some industry-related topics along the way. So as always, my name is Levi. I am your host for this episode. To my left, I have Sarah.
Hi.
And Emily is with
Hello.
us as well, and Scott.
Hello.
And of course, Kaisa.
Hello.
So let's jump into it. Kaisa, how are we doing? How's it going?
Great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What are you, 2 weeks in now?
Yeah.
Right?
A little over.
How you liking it so far? You want to keep coming back, right?
Yep. I'm here for good.
Okay. Here for good. So it was actually, you're at, and so do we have an official name that you're kind of using for her role yet? Because you don't like the official one. You're coming up with a sub name, right, Emily?
Right. Because I think that Kaisa is more than an administrative assistant and needs to have a more special job title, especially whenever she's interfacing with clients. So we've been throwing around quite a few names. I don't know that we've fully landed on one.
No. My favorite was assistant to the regional manager.
Classic.
Vice president.
Assistant to the project manager. We've been throwing around a support coordinator.
Okay.
Supportinator?
A supportinator. Yes, that's great. That's a great title.
There you go.
Something
Okay.
that allows our clients to know that Kaisa is available to help them and coordinate the support that they need
Right.
after their project is launched and creating that relationship.
For sure. Okay, so we're still thinking of a name. I'm on board with Brandon's vice president idea. I've already changed my email signature to vice president of development here at Pixel and Hammer.
Oh, really?
And for our listeners,
Yeah.
tell them what the vice president thing is about.
Oh, so Brandon was in Brandon Bear. Everybody knows him. He everybody at his bank. I don't even remember, but I won't even say what bank it was. In their email signatures, no matter where they are in the company, they have vice president of something in their email signatures, just so it was a little bit more official and so people would take them a little bit more seriously. So he just told us to change all of our positions to vice president. So vice president of like back end development, vice president of full front end development, vice president of design, vice president of operations.
I would just be the president.
Oh, okay. Cool. All right. Emily's company, I guess.
Because you get to make those decisions.
Yeah. So,
If you want to do that, I will not stop you.
let's do it. I think we all should. Yeah, why not? But then see, it doesn't matter because like if I'm vice president of front end development, who's president of front end development? Or like
Well, I'm
Me.
just the president.
you just take that role. Okay. So it's like
president of it all.
So it's a pyramid. So it's like you're the president, and then we have vice, and then
We have two
everybody.
levels.
Okay, got it.
So it's like a
Got it.
pyramid, but
Well, we
like
have
not
an
a
intern.
pyramid.
Yeah.
Kylie,
Can
she
be
wants to
vice
be vice
president
president
of
of the
interns.
interns.
Ooh, vice president of the interns. I bet she'd love that. I bet she would. Okay, so to spice it up and make things a little fun on this episode, Kaisa has compiled a list of questions relating to the industry, I believe our culture, the company, and just off the wall, random and fun things. She's cut them up, put them in a cup, and we're gonna randomly pull one at a time and kind of use that as a jump off point for some conversation. So who's going first?
I'll do it.
Scott, dropping iPhones.
I didn't even touch it.
Jeez.
All right.
All right,
Let's go here.
what do we got?
All right. What is one thing that you are looking forward to doing when you retire?
Ooh.
Retirement.
Now, are we all answering these questions, or is just
I would-
Scott answering that?
I think we can all, jump in a little bit, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, might as well.
Okay.
I mean, geez.
Can I say nothing?
Yeah, I mean, but isn't that the average answer though? Like when you
Yeah.
wanna, Like, what's the...
And travel is pretty generic, but I would love to.
Right. Travel. Like, Scott, would you want to, like, make music? Like, would you, like, you retire, you're done. Like, would you just want to make music all the time? Because, like, you have nothing else to worry about. You don't really... It's not that you don't care,
Yeah,
but, like,
I would...
You would want to go down that.
I would probably... Now, if I'm able to retire with, enough money, it would be nice to pick up some, like, more expensive hobbies, like collecting guitars and doing, different tours of, like, major factories and going on the hunt for some, like, cool, rare guitars. Like, that would be a really fun thing to do, finances.
But don't get him
permitting.
wrong, because he already has like 57 guitars on his wall in his basement. So he's kind of already started that whole process. Yeah, I think it would just be like, God, is it cliche to say that like I would retire but like keep working?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
No, if you have an entrepreneurial spirit, I agree with you.
Right.
I don't ever see myself quitting working entirely, even whenever I retire. So I tend to agree with that. I might only do the things that I choose to do. Maybe that's consulting. Maybe that's like teaching some classes. But
yeah, and like I think that, like, oh, here we go. I'm gonna bring it up again. Every episode I have to bring it up. But like say it's like 20 years from now and like the venue's built and we're successful and everything's fine. Not 20 years, but like 40 years from now when I retire, like somebody else is running it. The whole company is fine. It's good to go. Like I would still want to go at the end of the night to like each wedding or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like kind of oversee or like help clean up or see who's coming in next or, whatever it may be. I don't know if it'd be work. It wouldn't technically, Scott, be working. Like I wouldn't be like, oh, I need a paycheck, but it would still be along the lines of the work that I was doing while preparing for that, right?
That's a really good sign that you love what you do.
Right.
And you're on the right path.
Right.
I am also a firm believer that you have to keep the stone rolling or else it collects moss. And so if I believe that if I stop, I'll die. So whether that's like, finding a good organization to volunteer with or do something, I don't know that I can be the person that plays in my garden and travels occasionally and sits at home.
So kind of like a shark. Like if you stop swimming, you just die.
Yeah.
Oh, is that a thing?
Apparently. I don't know if it's actually
they're always
a thing or
moving.
just it's like a...
Even when they're sleeping? Do they sleep? But they're just going, even if they're sleeping.
Because if they stop moving, then the water stops going through their gills and they suffocate, I believe.
Oh.
Sarah would know.
Sarah would know.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sarah. That's our shark fact of the day. Levi, insert a shark sound.
Yeah.
Post-production.
Is there a shark sound? Right,
I
yeah.
don't know. Shark bite.
Baby
Doo-doo,
shark.
doo-doo.
Oh, no.
No. Next question. Emily is going to ask this one.
If you could pick up a new skill in an instant, what would it be?
Singing. I'm an awful singer, and it makes me so sad. I would love to be able to sing well.
No, that's it for me too. I think like it's always been entertainment for me, and the one thing I've never been able to like do or tackle is like, I mean, like quote unquote will sing, and whatever. My grandma will say it's really good and it's great, but like it's not like professional or scottmcfaddenmusic.com type quality.
Don't go there. Go to facebook.com/ScottMcFadden.
No, but it's, you know what I mean? Like, it's one that, like, I would like to know. Like, for example, Kaisa, you probably saw it, but in Dobrik's vlog last week or the week before, he went to Charlie Puth's house. Charlie Puth, right? He has perfect pitch. So you can be talking to him, you can be singing, you can be say one word or do, and he knows what key and what note it is. And, like, he can also do, like, any song. Whether he's known the song before or not, you can play any song on your iPhone, and he will immediately play the entire thing on his piano before the song's even over. Like, he's, like, so in tune with the music and the mentality of it. I think that'd be crazy to just be able to,
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah. That's super nuts. I definitely can't do that.
No.
That's a very rare skill, trait, talent, gift thing. I think for me, it would probably be woodworking.
No,
'Cause
that's
I've-
what I was gonna say.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
It's okay.
So I picked up woodworking like 2 years ago, a year and a half,
Okay.
2 years ago. And like the goal was to build guitars. So I was like, I like to make things, and I've like pieced together guitars before, like buying them for like an electric guitar, buying the body, buying the
Right.
neck, pickups, electronics, all that stuff. So I can assemble them. And I was like, it'd be really cool to be able to do this, whole process top to bottom. But then just the more I got into it, it's just such a whole world.
Yeah, you
And
need
there's
tools,
so much-
you need
Yeah.
a workshop. you
So
need
I
all
started
the
investing
wood.
in the tools, and I have like a fairly large shed and started converting that. But then it ultimately got to the point where I actually went out to Chicago and went to this super large music store while I was out there last year, and wound up playing a bunch of guitars, and played a guitar that I had heard the brand but never played it before. And it was like fell in love, like love at first sight when I played this. And then it was like literally this one where it's like, this guitar, two things. This guitar needs to come home with me. And two, I will never, ever, ever be able to build a guitar as good as this. And it was like in that moment, I'm like, I'm not going to do this anymore because like, here's the standard and I will never get there.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like even when you and I went to the music shop down the street, like the first thing the guy, you pointed to one, pulled it off the wall. The first thing he said, he's like, oh, this is a genuine oak mahogany, from the trees of wherever country. Like it just, you know what I mean? Like it's premium.
You're saying words right now.
Exactly. Emily, what about you?
Well, I was gonna say woodworking
Yeah.
as like a hobby thing because I do like creating things with my hands, and now it would just be like super, super cool to be able to build, for instance, a pergola. We were just looking at one the other day at my husband's bar, and it's amazing. And I would love to be able to do that. I don't have the skill at all to do that. And then if it was related to career, I would want to learn how to code.
Me too.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just like if you have the ability or time or need or want to like learn Spanish, it's basically just another language, right? That's how I describe it to Megs or anybody who asks me.
It's like the perfect marriage between math and language.
That's the problem, is that I suck at math.
Yeah.
And if you told me to code like a one-page website and put a gun to my head, I could figure it out. Like I know enough to be really dangerous in a bad way. But it would be really great to be able to like assist in some of the things that you guys do, or to understand it a little bit better.
Yeah. It's how do I explain? It's like I'm terrible at reading. Like I can't read a book. Like physically, like mentally, I'm gone after the first page. Like I can't go from A to Z in a book, but like I can sit there and read through code because that's just how I learned the language. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't know. That's just kind of how it is for me. Sarah?
I would have to pick cooking.
Cooking. Okay.
I would love to be an amazing cook, but it's one of those things where I don't feel like I've got a picky enough flavor palette for it almost, where everything kind of tastes okay or good or whatever. But if I could be an awesome cook, I would totally take advantage of that.
Whoa, I'm gonna need to change my answer now. I want your answer. That's really cool. I want to be a good cook.
We'll just all trade and share.
Yeah.
Well, everybody loves the awesome cook of the group. You know what I mean?
For sure. I feel like for me, I struggle to do, like, if I do something, I want to do it so well. Like, I struggle to know that, like, if I'm not, like, passable, if I'm only passable at it, and, like, I'm not interested, like, I want to be really good at the things that I do.
Yeah,
so there's, like, a
typical
mental thing
perfectionist.
that I struggle with where I'm like, if, like, woodworking, I'm like, I will only ever be passable at this, therefore, I, like, am not going to focus energy here. So, anyway. I think Levi has a question.
Yeah. One of the main reasons why I applied for the job, it is professional, casual, or sweatpants. If there was no dress code, how would you dress for work? Is everybody's answer just sweatpants?
No, I never wear sweatpants.
No.
No, I mean mine would be probably like just basketball shorts, moccasins, and a t-shirt. Probably just something like that. Sweatpants, I sweat too much in, so we'll get rid of those. But the next best thing is basketball shorts.
We're working on him.
Right now, he's wearing a nice washed or a color of jeans and a shirt that matches mine, actually. So you look pretty nice. You're not wearing gym shorts.
No.
But you can.
I almost did today. I almost did.
What I think is interesting is that we have a very casual policy with the idea that as long as we don't have clients that are going to be coming in
Right.
to possibly see you, I don't care what you wear as long as you're productive. But most of the time, I would say that everyone dresses casually, but well.
Yeah.
This group.
Jeans and like a nice shirt or a blouse are always my go-to. Like even when I'm not working, like that's just what I wear.
Yeah, same here.
It was nice coming from the time when I was being a stay-at-home dad and coming into like a casual dress code. Like I actually wanted to dress up because I was like, I have a reason to feel like a person again. So.
But then you come in here and we're just all in casual
Don't
clothes.
matter to me. It feels
But it makes it so that like when we do have a client meeting, it's actually kind of fun to dress up because we don't have to do it every day.
like full-on tuxedo.
Right. Tuxedo to the interview. Speaking of which, I watched Step Brothers again
Oh man.
last weekend, and I feel like you still haven't watched it.
Now the tuxedos are just feeling a little
No, I
weird.
haven't.
It's like ketchup and onions. Anyways, all right. Next,
taste it.
who's got a question?
I've got a
Kaisa?
question.
Yeah.
If you could know the absolute and total truth to one question, what question would you ask?
Oh man.
Ooh.
We could start our conspiracy theory podcast right now.
Is Avril Lavigne real?
Is she alive? No. The answer to one question.
Any question?
Yeah, the complete and total truth. So you might learn things that you don't want to know,
Right.
but the entire truth.
Right.
To anyone ever?
To any
Or-
question.
Any question. I kind of want to know how and when the world's going to end.
Oh, no.
Right.
What if it's like next week? Will you tell us, first of all?
Sorry, guys, I won't be in on Monday.
No. So like, right. So, but isn't that like, isn't that the whole like knowing the future, like time warp bend thing? Like, isn't that how it works? Like if Kaisa knows the world's going to end tomorrow, but we don't, then she tells us, then we do other things that ripple butterfly effect
Right, yeah.
into like, but then the question,
Arrived at the butterfly.
then the question becomes, was it really going to end, or was her telling us that it was going to end the end all be all? Like, yeah, right. Then it gets deep.
This is a little too deep for
It is.
2 o'clock on a Thursday.
Oof.
Sorry.
Oh, jeez, the question that we want to know.
Yeah, we might need to.
Let's think about it and come
we
back.
need to pass on,
Yeah.
on that. That's deep and heavy.
Let's come back. I mean, you could go religion. You could go even crazy, bigger picture. You could go.
I just want to know what happened to
Aliens.
Atlantis.
What happened?
Oh,
See, yeah. You don't believe like the Disney movie route,
I mean, there's so many theories out there and so many ideas.
like the Bermuda Triangle.
Right.
Like, is that where it was?
I think it's probably somewhere at the bottom of the ocean
You think
or like buried
they've-
somewhere.
they've already found like multiple like not dungeon but like cave like relics at the bottom of the ocean.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah. I mean, how long have we been traveling oceans and, sinking ships in oceans and
Right.
stuff like that? But,
right.
to actually know what happened to Atlantis and where it is would be really cool.
all right. Speaking of Atlantis and water, never have I ever tried alligator.
I have.
What?
In New
I
Orleans.
Here it's
I
actually
had an
pretty
alligator
good.
po' boy.
Interesting.
Chewy.
I've never.
It was a
I-
little chewy.
I never
All right, show
have.
of hands. Who's had alligator? Just one. Kaisa is the only one who has had
I never
alligator.
have. You guys better try it when you go. Are you gonna do it?
Do what?
When
Try
you
alligator?
go to down to New Orleans,
Oh, sure.
you gonna try
Yeah.
alligator?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brandon and I have our bucket list, and the first thing we're doing is going to Mardi Gras.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's exciting. We were in Florida last year. Was it last year? To
Yeah.
the Harry Potter
Yeah.
world, and I know there was alligator, but I don't know that I actually tried it.
What's the
I
taste
can't
like?
remember.
The texture kind of reminded me of calamari,
Ooh,
You know,
I
it's
do
a little chewy.
I love
It was
calamari.
fried, so I mean, anything fried is good. But yeah, it wasn't bad.
Sign me up.
Yeah, I mean, I would try it if it was here or there, wherever we are. Sarah, you're probably
you got,
you're
Sarah?
probably a no on the alligator, huh?
Yeah, no. How did you know?
Just a guess.
How about this one though? Never have I ever went to work without bathing.
Like I've bathed the night before. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Like,
right
does-
before
well,
coming
okay,
in.
but is bathing like the same thing as showering?
Yes.
Okay.
Getting yourself clean.
Okay, got it.
No, you need to draw yourself a bath every morning before you come to work. With some bubbles.
Some lavender.
If there was a time for me that happened, it would have been a random day that I don't remember, like once or twice maybe. But
Oh man.
I don't know, like that's my morning routine. Like if I don't take a shower, it doesn't wake me up. Like that's what wakes me up.
Yeah.
You know. So,
I agree.
but sometimes like if it's a long day or whatever on a Sunday, I'll take one Sunday night and then just wake up Monday morning and go, you know. But I don't know. Scott?
Yeah, now that I can pull my hair back, I'm on like a every other day kind of routine. 'Cause, like I don't sweat like Levi. You mean much love, my man. I don't have the same sweating gene that you have.
I hate it.
So, I'll like put my hair back, clean my face, put on deodorants. I don't stink.
Right.
But
Yeah.
clean clothes, clean underwear, all the whole nine. But yeah, I definitely don't need to shower every day.
It's different for
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
All right, this got weird.
I didn't write the questions.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever met anyone famous?
Oh, famous. Yes, I have. Anybody else?
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Who?
Define famous.
My famous is like in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Oh wow, no.
1
mine's
and
not
2.
that famous.
Oh.
I met some 41 at Dickinson College outside of their tour bus and talked to them.
Nice.
That's as close to a famous as I can get for you.
That's pretty cool. Were they cool people?
I mean, I was like 14, so they were just nice to the children.
Do you guys remember that girl group Dream?
No.
That's who I met. I was like obsessed with NSYNC, and I opened up for NSYNC, and I met them outside their tour bus.
I've never heard of them. I did. Does anybody know who Michael Rooker is? He was also Merle on The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he's the blue guy in Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah.
He's also in Stargate.
How
Yep.
did you meet him?
I was at Philadelphia Comic-Con probably 3 or 4 years ago, and the hotel that we stay at is directly attached to the convention center. So it's a very well-known fact that some of the celebrities who are there doing autographs and meet and greets and stuff, they'll go to the bar at the hotel. And so we went down there, we were drinking, and sure enough, he showed up. And they were like, go do magic for Michael Rooker. He's there. Go. I'm like, I don't have anything. I didn't plan. They're like, and there's a 7-Eleven right across the street. I was like, yo, somebody go to 7-Eleven, see if they have playing cards. So my buddy Mike ran right across the street. Sure enough, came back with a bicycle deck like 3 minutes later, went up to him. I was like, what's up, Michael Rooker? Huge fan. Let me show you some magic. And I did, and it was dope, and it's on film. It's on YouTube. You can find it if you look hard enough.
What was his response?
He was drunk, and he was kind of like, he was like, oh, okay, cool, man. Like he didn't really, he was one of those people who like aren't impressed by magic. You know what I mean? So it just kind of was like, oh, I know you did something, but good job anyways, kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
But it was still neat. I was still nervous as hell. But
That's cool.
next, go Scott, go.
All right. What was the first thing you bought with your own money?
I know mine.
That I remember?
Yep.
Like a big purchase with my own money? Mm-hmm. Probably my laptop.
Yep.
I bought my first laptop at 14 after babysitting
Yep.
for a year. And I was so excited about it. And like I just loved it.
Well, is that the laptop you learned how to code on?
I mean, I learned how to code on a Windows 98, so.
Jesus. Emily, what about you?
I honestly can't remember. Sorry.
Scott?
I guess it wasn't very
I
exciting.
I don't know.
I mean, I knew mine, but
I don't remember like the first big thing, like a laptop or anything like that. But the first thing I bought at a store was a Joey Lawrence CD. Back when he had a music career.
Joey, was he in sync?
No, he's
Joey Lawrence?
No, Joey Lawrence is the whoa guy from Blossom. He's an actor.
I have no idea who that is.
Was
Do
he
you know?
also in New Kids on the Block?
No,
Oh.
That was a different Joey?
different Joey.
There's definitely a Joey in NSYNC.
That's
Let
Joey
me-
Fatone.
Okay, that's it. That's what I'm thinking of. My first big thing was at like 16 when I got my first job. I bought a laptop, and you would not, for $3 million, you would not guess where I bought this laptop from. I forget how much it was. I think it was $600.
Circuit City.
No.
Oh.
I'm telling, no. I guarantee.
The grocery store.
We'll give you shit. Okay.
$3 million.
No, I bought it from Aldi's. You know, the
way.
discount grocery store, Aldi's. And I'll tell you exactly why. I looked for about 2 weeks for laptops. And at this point in time, it was when 512 megabytes of RAM was popping.
Yep.
Yep. So Aldi's for like $5.99 had this laptop, some off-brand. Nobody, it's probably not even around anymore. 1 gig of RAM. 1 gig. I bought that thing so quick, and that's where I started making videos on Windows Movie Maker. It's fantastic.
How long did that computer last you? Did it run?
My stepdad still has it, and it still turns on. Yes.
What?
I bootlegged a copy of Windows XP because that's how old it is, and it's on there now. It's probably missing a bunch of drivers, but it will connect to the internet and run.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah. 1 gig of RAM. Put that in your iMac. And no. What else we got? We got any more?
Yeah, we do.
What was your favorite band 10 years ago?
Backstreet Boys.
Shinedown.
Emily?
Oh, I loved Blink-182.
Yeah, they're good too.
10 years ago?
Oh, 10 years ago.
10 years. I mean,
Yeah, that was like way more 20 years
16. Well, I mean, I was 16. I guess it wasn't Backstreet Boys then. It was probably a rapper at some point. I think Lil Wayne was hot when I was 10. Or 16, I mean. 10 years ago. You know what I mean?
20?
Math, what?
Going back to how code is like math.
How does code work again?
Green Day was probably mine.
Ooh, Green Day.
I would have been like 22, so probably like Modest Mouse or something like that.
Yeah.
I was like real into like shoegazy instrumental music back in the day. So like the album Leaf probably be like my favorite back then.
What you got?
Oh, my question? There are now 25 hours in a day.
Wait,
How
what?
would you?
Stop. Start the question over. What are you saying?
There are now 25 hours in a day.
Oh, like not seriously, but figuratively.
Yes.
Oh, okay, okay.
I know for a
Okay.
second I was like,
Wait,
did I
what? Yeah,
miss?
what, we found a black hole, and now there's 25 hours. And
We actually did find a black hole. Turns out that has real life implications.
I realize now how much you guys trust me. If I can
Okay.
just say that, I can believe it. How do you spend your extra hour?
I mean, the obvious answer is sleeping, right? We all want an
pretty
extra
great.
hour of sleep.
Realistically, too, would probably be sleeping.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's even like a bad answer though. That's just like it would be great to have an extra hour. To
I
sleep.
think everyone, there's a lot of people that are sleep deprived in the world.
Oh my gosh,
but
yes.
honestly, I feel like unless I have a bad night or I don't, like I have a pretty good sleep schedule.
Do you get a full 8 hours, or are you a person who
Not
needs that?
every night, because I do have like some nights where I'll toss and turn. But generally, yeah,
That's the goal though for you, is like a full 8.
absolutely.
Who else is the full 8?
I think I don't need to be, but recently it's been actually recently, it's funny to say this, but since baby showed up, it's been about 8 hours. Like I'll find myself going to sleep at like midnight, like 12:30, and then wake up for work at like 7:30, 8 o'clock. But those are like sometimes Megs is up with him, sometimes I am. So I mean,
Yeah.
I might get 6 or 7 if I am, but
Good for you.
yeah. Scott's like, okay, well.
My experience as a father of twins was a little different.
So like when they were newborns, were they on the same cycle or no?
Well, we started out pretty early getting them on the same schedule as best we could. Like when one was up because they needed to eat or they needed a diaper change or whatever, like we would just do both.
Right.
So yeah. Oh, those are brutal nights that I don't care to go back to.
Now you just have brutal mornings.
Yeah, getting them out the door, getting them up and ready and out the door to daycare now it's a whole different process.
Right.
But I think I'm like, as far as sleep goes, I'm like a 6-hour kind of guy. Like my wife is very much like, I need like 8 to 10 hours. And if she doesn't get that, she's like, it's super stressful and she doesn't do well on that. For me, I'm like, if I can get a solid 6, I feel good.
All right, here we go. Final question. And we cover this in the very, 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 very first beta official, whatever type of episode of podcast it was, that I don't even know is still out there. Maybe it is. I don't know.
Episode 0.
Episode 0 that...
Was that just me,
Yep.
Emily and you?
Emily and Sarah shared a microphone, and I didn't know how to work them at the time, so you could barely hear them the entire time. We're going to go around and we're going to talk about how we got started in the industry that we're in. Design, admin stuff, design stuff, photography, development stuff, business owning, graphic design, Emily, however you want to tackle it.
Let's do it.
That's a long one.
Well, okay, maybe give us like the abbreviated 4-minute version. Can you do it in 4 minutes or less?
Maybe.
Okay.
I'll give you a minute.
You guys go first.
Scott, how are you a graphic designer today?
I started out just dabbling in Photoshop, making like signs and little like business cards things. Basically, was learning how to do like drop shadow and that crap.
Did you ever bevel and emboss?
Oh, I beveled and embossed and drop shadowed everything.
My
Well, that
first
would have
website.
been like Web
Glow.
2.0
Yeah.
time frame, so everything was.
Oh, right.
Text Glow.
Right. So
Yeah.
then I, when I went to college, got into the communications track. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with it, but I enjoyed the general themes of communications. And then got plugged in to a graphic design class at Penn State Harrisburg, and that was when everything clicked. I was like, oh, I love this. This is what I want to do.
Right. Dope. And now here we are.
Here we are.
Kaisa, what's your story?
Well, I do have a background in design, but I also have done a lot of admin things as well. My parents actually owned, for about 35 years, a hair salon, and I started probably in elementary school using Windows Paint and
Nice.
making ads and stuff for them, just on a fake level. But then once I got into middle school, they needed an ad for something, and it was last minute, and so I somehow, I don't even know how, but on Paint made an ad and sent it off, and it got published. I don't even want to know what it looks like.
So that's how they make those ads on the diner placemats
Yeah.
when I go in the morning. 'Cause
But then once I got a little older, I worked at the front desk and did all their admin and receptionist duties there too. So Kenneth and Company in good old Camp Hill, Pennsylvania is where I got my start.
Nice,
All right.
nice. Yeah, I mean, my stories, I, all through high school, was doing magic, became homecoming king, most popular kid in school, of course.
Of course.
And it just turned into this thing where I needed to be a magician full time as a career. And I wasn't, and I already had used like Wix.com to build my website. And it was garbage and it had nothing to do with me or my magic. So I said, screw this. I'm going to go to college because it was that time in my life. I'm going to make my own website. And so I signed up for the most expensive college there was out there. I went to the Art Institute. Mistake. And I learned how to do it all. And within the first 2 weeks, I made friends with a guy named Chris, and he showed me how to use Photoshop and use slices and export it in tables and HTML. And I had a website within 2 weeks, and it grew from there. And then it was basically like, oh, I can make okay money doing this for other people. And then it led me onto this path of entertainment and building websites, and here I am. So, all because I needed a website for my card tricks to live on.
For me, I was in middle school, and I got really interested in, like, I always liked computers. And I got really interested in some browser games like Neopets and Horseland and games like that. And then as a 13-year-old, decided that I was good enough that I could build my own, and started like going to the library and checking out programming textbooks and really scaring my parents with some of the things that I was checking out. And then from there, like I started building my own games online, and then took some classes in high school, and eventually ended up in computer science in college, and it just kept growing and growing, and I don't know, I really enjoyed it.
What was the name of the first game you made?
I think it was like a really made up word, like Asrindia or something like that. Okay. It was like
what was it?
Like Asrindia, it was like some fantasy like pony game, like kind of built off of My Little Pony.
Okay.
Pony. I like that.
I was 13.
That's a great name.
But,
Yeah. A lot like Kaisa and Scott, I really loved fine art. That was my passion growing up. But I didn't want to be one of those kids that spent a whole bunch of money going to school for fine art and then not being able to turn that into a career. So quite a few of my high school teachers recommended design. And I took a class that had a focus on design, that had a special school project at the end of it where we created a logo and brand for a real company. And they came in and met with us, and I thought that was super awesome and fun. So I enrolled in school and decided I wanted to become a designer. And I haven't really looked back since. I really like it. Aside from the fact that I don't paint anymore, really, which is kind of a bummer. But there's like an art and a science to it, and that really speaks to me as a person. So after school, I traveled around with my husband, who was in the military, and it's very difficult to gain employment in a professional field if you're a military spouse, because you move around a lot. So I did a lot of internships and shadowing to make sure that I had experience in agencies and freelance on the side. And then I did solely print and branding. And when I moved back to Pennsylvania, I had 2 web developer friends that needed a designer. And I filled that role and quickly learned how to make websites. And we started this business. That's the shortest version I can give you.
That was quick hit.
Yeah.
It was riveting.
That's it.
That was good.
And now we have Pixel and Hammer, which is comprised of this amazing team. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to this episode of the podcast. More to come. We're working on a set schedule, so this type of hiatus doesn't happen again, which is my job, also my fault. So we will have plenty more content coming soon. By all means, thank you so much for listening. My name is Levi. Sarah, say goodbye to the people.
Adios.
Emily.
Goodbye.
Scott.
Bye-bye.
Kaisa.
Bye.
We are Pixel and Hammer, and thank you.